Hello, and welcome back to the channel. As most of you know, I'm Topher. And for those of you who don't know and just randomly decided to click on my video, welcome to the channel. I'm Topher. Thank you for stopping by. So, September is almost over, so I figured it is time for another channel update video. And I'm going to try and keep it brief because I got a couple other things that I want to get recorded before the night is through. So, first and foremost, in the last month, we made it to 53,000 subs on this channel. Yes, congratulations, and thank you to everyone who's recently joined. Thank you to people who've been sticking around with me for a very long time. Thank you to my OG people who were here when we were still in the double digits and the triple digits. Thank you, thank you. I've said it a million times over. This channel and pretty much everyone's YouTube channel in the world would be absolutely nothing without subscribers, without people interacting with the videos, liking, commenting, sharing, watching, just being a part of the community. So thank you, whether you are super duper involved or you are just more of a passive participant. Either way, thank you so much for your love and support. I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. And I've also said it so many times over, like, I feel fortunate because I feel like I have such a great community of people here on YouTube. Very rarely do I have like terribly negative interactions with people in my comment section. Every so often it happens, which is to be expected. And like, I've gotten to the point now where I just block them. I'm just like, bye, I ain't got time for this. But it doesn't happen nearly as often as it used to. And I feel like we've cultivated a very open, understanding community on this channel. And even we're I'm not saying we've got to agree on everything. Sometimes we disagree. You have differences of opinions, I have differences of opinions, but we can discuss them. We can discuss them like adults. We can have open, honest conversations, and I really do appreciate that. I appreciate you guys being respectful in my comment section. The second I start, I don't always get to see every single comment or every single reply to all the comments and whatnot, so I don't get to see everything that goes down. But the second I do see some sort of level of disrespect, I will intervene in some way, shape, or form, whether that's me going in and trying to set things straight or me just blocking people and keeping them from being able to comment. But for, like I said, the most part, we have a pretty open and just chill environment here, and I appreciate you guys. I really do. I appreciate you guys so much, because sometimes I'll go peek into other people's comment sections or communities and I'll see all kinds of stuff go down. I'm like, Lord Jesus. So I really do appreciate you guys. And then if you were with my channel, if you saw my channel update video for last month, or you've kept up with just some of the posts in my community tab and whatnot, you know that I also started various other channels to focus different videos and different aspects of things that I wanted to do, so I didn't overload this channel too much. So over on my Topher React Cinema channel, where we're reacting to more Western media, whether that's movies or series and whatnot, we're currently at 226 subscribers, which makes me super duper excited, especially since I only have 2 videos posted. One with where we reacted to Red, White, and Royal Blue, which was a super adorable movie, and then one where I was reacting to Mortal Kombat 1 Fatalities, which that video hasn't particularly done particularly well, but that's okay. It was really more of a me thing and just testing the waters, but I love Mortal Kombat. But yeah, I appreciate all the support that we've had over there, and that's where I'll be posting. If you saw a post that I did on the community tab or on Twitter a couple days ago about my current Patreon early access videos, I've got a reaction to Everything Everywhere All at Once, reaction to Scream 6, reaction to Power Rangers, Once and Always. So over on that channel, Topher React Cinema, that is where those YouTube reactions will be posted. They won't be posted over here. So if you're interested in those or any other things similar to that, hop on over there and subscribe. Then my ASMR channel, it's got currently 25 subscribers, so you know, growing a slow little community, and that's okay because I don't post there as frequently, and I'm still just kind of dabbling and playing around and messing around in there. But those of you who have joined over there, I appreciate you. And then for my Everything Topher channel, which was the first branch off channel I created like a year or 2 years ago. We're sitting at 224 subscribers, and that's where I post a lot of my vloggy stuff for right now. So some of my cooking videos, some of my quiz videos, and that's where I'll have my manhwa and manga reading videos and whatnot over on that channel. So thank you to everyone who's supported me on those channels as well. I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. What else? Last month, or this past month, I tried out a new structure on this channel for my release, or a new schedule, where Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays would be particular series that I was releasing reactions to. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday would be music reactions, and Sunday would be kind of a free open space. Either I would do music reactions or another series reaction, or I would just take a break, depending on how I felt. And it seemed to be, at least it's made things a little bit easier for me. So I think for this next month, I'm going to continue that and see how that works. I haven't noticed a huge change in the viewership numbers on those particular videos, which was the first experiment that I was kind of testing with that, because I know that before I was releasing like 2, 3, 4 videos a day, and so many of my reactions were just getting lost in the shuffle. They're getting lost in the algorithm, because I was like, it's basically like I was spamming the algorithm, and people just weren't seeing videos. They weren't seeing them when they were getting released, and this, that, the other. So I was like, okay, I've been told a number of times I need to slow down my production rate. So I said I'm going to do one video a day, and that was going to be my release schedule. So there's been a little bit of a increase, but not like a super significant one. So maybe it's a series I'm reacting to, maybe it's music. Like there are outliers. Like anytime I react to SB19, that's usually, it takes up my #1 reaction watch for like the last 10 videos or something that I've uploaded. But I think I'm going to keep that one video a day reaction schedule, with the exception of Sunday. Sunday's really been the only day that I've kind of done a double thing with that. So sometimes I've done 2 series, sometimes I've done a series and a music, sometimes, well, I haven't done 2 musics on Sundays. It's usually been 2 series. But mainly because I've had a lot of stuff that I've been doing on Patreon that I've been trying to just funnel into YouTube. So I'm using my Sunday as my way to get some of that out there. But yeah, I think we're going to keep that structure. So as far as what series we'll be reacting to, Mondays will still be The Untamed, because it's a long ass series and y'all only getting 1 reaction on YouTube per week. So it's just going to take us a while to get through it. Wednesdays, as of right now, I finished reacting to, and all of my reactions for Unintentional Love Story are all available on my Patreon. But I think as far as YouTube cuts go, we still have 2 more weeks. At least as of recording this, tomorrow I'll release, I think, episode 8 on YouTube. So that means I've still got episode 9 next week and episode 10 the following week to release on YouTube. And then once I'm done with those YouTube cuts, something is going to take its place, which I will announce very, very shortly. And then Fridays, we're going to continue with The Love You Give Me. So as far as what is going to take the place of Unintentional Love Story, once we finish that on YouTube in a couple of weeks, like I said, those reactions are already done, uploaded, and ready for viewing on Patreon. Early access, but as far as YouTube goes, it'll be a couple weeks left until we finish that out. But once we finish that out, I made a poll on my Patreon for my patrons to vote which series I should dive into next, because over the last few weeks I've been just giving them a preview, because I've had so many requests from my patrons for so many different series, and I'm like, I cannot possibly watch all of these series at one time. I'm already struggling with like 3 or 4 series at once, so I cannot watch these 15, 20 series all at once simultaneously. My head will explode. It's too much information. So what I did was I watched the first episode of every single one of them, and I posted them to my Patreon, and it's a lot of them I've got YouTube cuts already put out there and released some. There's still a good handful that have not been released to YouTube for the public yet. They're still only patron exclusives. but I reacted to the first episode of each one of those series, and I gave my patrons, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. I was like, hey, vote for which one you want me to dive into next as soon as we're done with Unintentional Love Story. And the results of that poll are, with 25% of the vote, so a quarter of the vote, our winner is It's Okay Not to Be Okay, which I'm excited about because I absolutely love the first episode. Honestly, there's not a series that I ended up reacting to on this list that I didn't enjoy, but I was very excited by the visuals and just the potential chemistry and everything that was going on in that series. I'm very excited to dive further into that. So over the next couple of weeks on Patreon, I'll be continuing reacting to that. And then those YouTube cuts will start rolling out after I've finished putting out the last couple Unintentional Love Stories. So I think about midway through October, YouTube people should start seeing It's Okay Not to Be Okay. If you're over on Patreon, then you've already seen it and you'll be seeing it for the next couple of weeks. I'll start stockpiling those reactions over on Patreon. And then there are a lot of other great ones on the list that I kind of want to just cheat and dive my way into anyway, even though they didn't win the poll. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Sundays to just dabble in some of those other series that I'm not completely in. So that didn't win the poll. So I think the easiest one for me to finish would be Papa, What Is Love? That only got 1% of the votes. Well, there were a couple that only got. So Boss and the Babe, Dream High, and Papa, What Is Love each only got 1% of the votes. But I already started Papa, What Is Love, at least the first season. And I crammed 2 episodes into one reaction video. And I think there's only like 6 episodes in the first season, so it'll be very easy for me to just knock that. Those episodes are short. It'll be very easy for me to knock that one out. So I think I'm gonna knock that one out so it's off my list, and then use my Sundays to kind of dabble into some of these others potentially. But you guys will just have to stay tuned and find out what other ones I'll dabble into, because who knows? Topher's unpredictable. Who knows what he'll do? Yeah, and I think that's the majority of it. So like I already mentioned over on Patreon, if you're our patron, then you've already seen the early access to a plethora of stuff, series that I've already listed thus far. I've started a couple reality TV series, so His Man, Boys Planet, and then the other series that people have already voted on. So all of those are available for early access over on Patreon. You don't have to join us over on Patreon. They will get to release to YouTube at some point in time. I don't know when, because again, I'm only releasing one video a day, and I've already got Monday, Wednesday, Friday already slotted. So really the only free day I have to potentially release some of these new series is on that Sunday, because the other 3 days of the week are music reaction. So things will eventually get released to YouTube. It will just take time. So if you are impatient and you would like to just dive into those reactions, to give a full list of things that I've started, Sing My Crush, Boss and the Babe, Scam France Season 1, To Sir With Love, Dream High, The End of the World With You, Doom at Your Service, Our Dining Table, It's Okay Not to Be Okay, Triage, Papa, What Is Love, Be My Favorite, and then I also started Glory, Love Between Fairy and Devil, and Lost You Forever. So I've started all of those at some point, so I don't know when those will all reach YouTube scape, because I've only got so many things that I can release at once. But yeah, if you're impatient and you would like to see those reactions to any of those series, you can join us over on Patreon. Again, you don't have to, because they will eventually get released to YouTube at some point in time. Also, one thing I forgot, But I was just reminded because I hopped over on Twitter and one of my followers, David, love you, David, tagged me and a bunch of other BL content creator reactors in this post. Apparently, someone over on Twitter made a post along the lines of, "There's absolutely no reason that reactor should be charging over five, what looks like a euro symbol maybe on Patreon for just being able to watch BL reactions not on YouTube. Some are charging nearly 10. Again, looks like the euro symbol. That's more than Netflix or Disney Plus, etc., just to watch a few reactions made in someone's bedroom. Come on." And there are a lot of people I've seen who have shared or quote tweeted this with their opinions on the matter and whatnot. And I'm sure there are some people who are in my subscriber pool who have had that thought process that I've seen from some of the comments and whatnot, because in over the last month, I've made some changes to try and utilize my Patreon a little bit more, give the people who are supporting me over there some sort of incentive, because there's for years I've had Patreon where they were getting absolutely nothing. It was literally just them supporting me out of the kindness of their heart, and I'm always thankful. But I'm like, you know what? These are people giving me their money, so let me give them something worth their money. And for the most part, I've eventually made all of my Patreon content free and open to the public. But recently, with the reality shows I talked about, His Man and Boys Planet, I've still kept those patron exclusive, the full versions. I've put some pretty decently lengthy YouTube edit cuts up on YouTube to kind of satiate the appetite, but I've kept the full reactions locked behind the paywall. And the reason behind that, and I'm announcing it here rather than putting it in the comment section because I hate repeating myself in comments, is I've been warned a number of times from various reactors to be careful about putting my reactions out there completely for free, because some of these companies, especially the Korean companies, are notorious for going after people's channels and trying to shut down people's channels. And I've already had experience with Korean companies coming for my channel because of my reactions to Korean BL series. I've had it with Semantic Error, where I've got where they actually went over to my Patreon and reported my posts on Patreon, to the point where Patreon took down those posts. Like, hey, I still have the email somewhere where they're like, "Hey, we got to report that you're using copyrighted content, blah blah blah, and we want to protect this, that, the other, so we've removed this content." So then I had to go and take down all my other Semantic Error reactions from Patreon, because I'm like, I ain't trying to lose my Patreon too. I've had them come after my channel specifically with The Director Who Buys Me Dinner, and a couple others where I've received strike after strike after strike. Thankfully not 3 in a row, but I am currently sitting on a copyright strike as of right now, with other series. So it's like, for me, it is more of a protection thing. My Patreon prices are low. Literally the bottom tier is $1. And I'm not saying that because I'm trying to get people to come buy, give me your money. Like, if I felt safe and comfortable leaving it out there in the open, then I would. Thai series, the Thai people, they don't bother me. They've left me alone. The Chinese series, I've learned and I've been told, don't put them on YouTube because they will block, they will come after you. They haven't done a damn thing. They haven't mentioned a damn thing on my YouTube or Patreon. The Japanese series, again, similar to Chinese, I know not to put them on YouTube, so I don't put them on YouTube. They've left me and my Patreon alone. It's only the Korean series that have been consistently coming at my throat, coming from my channel in various different ways. So I thought about making all of my Korean reactions that are over on Patreon, like closing that from the public just as a protection measure. But I'm like, no, they've already been out this long. And all my YouTube editors already say on Patreon for free. So I'm like, I don't want to be a liar at that point. So I was like, okay, the Korean series I'm already in the middle of and whatnot, I will continue to put those out there for free. But I'm like, as far as starting new series, especially since I'm crossing out of the KBL world and diving into just the K-drama world, I'm like, I don't want my channel to get shut down because of reactions I have over here, because the companies can just get in for free and be like, oh yeah, here's my stuff, I'm claiming this stuff, take this stuff down. So I don't know what I'm going to do for future future Korean series right now. Part of me wanted to just, any new future Korean series, do the same thing I'm doing with those reality shows, where I just give like a sort of detailed YouTube edit and keep the other ones on Patreon still locked behind that paywall. But I don't know if I had things my way, YouTube would be a safe space and I would not have to worry about my channel getting struck down every 5 minutes because of stuff like that. And I wouldn't even have to make use of my Patreon. Like I was doing in the early days, Patreon would just be there as a placeholder, but I wouldn't have to make use of it. Yeah, so if I were living in a perfect world, that would be the way things are. But unfortunately, I'm not living in a perfect world, and I'm not trying to risk the 4 or 5 plus years of work that I put into this channel. Yeah, so yeah, that post just reminded me of that thought that I wanted to mention there. So I know there are people who are upset about not being able to see the full length 2 hours of me sitting in front of the camera, occasionally making a comment about Boys Planet, or hour and a half of me occasionally making a comment on His Man or whatever. But I worked very hard on those YouTube edits to cut the important parts, the fun parts that I said, and cut out the parts where I was literally just sitting there doing nothing, just watching. And yeah, at some point I would like to make those open to the public. I don't know when that point is going to be, because again, I'm just trying to keep my channel safe. And when I feel like it might be safe, maybe with enough time has passed and hey, this show is no longer getting attention and we're moving on, then I might open it up. But for right now, that's just kind of how that is. Yeah, so just thoughts I had. Anyway, bye. But yeah, I think that is all of the things. Yes, so I'm gonna stop talking so I can record a couple other things, but I hope you guys enjoy. It's not a reaction, autopilot. I hope you guys enjoyed this list of things that I said. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz, and I'll see you guys in next month's shenanigans. Yay!